Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. Well, today is Thursday. I guess it's May 7th. And it's approximately 10 after 5 in the afternoon. I came out here to GrubHub for lunch, and I was scheduled to do 12 to 2:30, but I started more like 11:30, 11:45. I made less than $20. Just wasn't that busy. The offer, I don't even know if they really sent me any decent offers. I mean, I did have a few offers, a couple offers, but like I said, I made like $17.98 or something like that, and like 3 offers. So I get off at 2:30, and I'd scheduled myself to DoorDash from 3:30 to 5, and I made like an extra $16, $17 with them. It kept wanting me to take these crappy ass offers, so I jumped off of that early and drove over here to a side of town that I know is good and decent for dinner. And I don't have to be on until 6:30, but they usually send you a notification about an hour ahead of time. GrubHub does. DoorDash does 30 minutes ahead of time. GrubHub does an hour ahead of time. So they'll send me a notification here in a little bit. And once I get that notification, I can log in if I wanted. So once I get that notification, what I'll do is I'll go online and see what the hotspots are looking like, seeing if it's really red, if there's a lot of different areas red. If there's a lot of different areas red, then by golly, I am going to jump on. But if there's not, I'm going to hope and pray that I get enough to make it worth my time tonight. I am scheduled to do a lunch tomorrow. Last Friday I did very good on lunch. I made about $60. Last couple of times I've done lunches, it hasn't really been that good. But hey, a little bit adds up. It's the way I look at it. You know, my bills are paid up to this point. I'm good as far as what I have available to me. Today, was it today or was it yesterday? I will absolutely refuse to pick up from a Taco Bell. Maybe not every Taco Bell, but I absolutely refuse to pick up from one Taco Bell location. The lady was rude as all get out. She told me I came in to pick up the order, and she said, "We just got that not too long ago. I've got 3 pages of orders, and hers is at the end. I've got 48 tacos to make. Blah, 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 blah." So I jumped that one off. I dumped that one off as quickly as I could and said, okay, somebody else will be here a little later. And I made a mental note not to ever go back to that Taco Hell. I have another thing that I've learned about the difference in the apps is DoorDash does more, I don't want to call them lower end restaurants because they're not really lower end, but DoorDash seems to do more of the fast food type of restaurants. Whereas GrubHub, they're more about the full service type of restaurants. And it even tells you that. If you go online and research the differences between the apps, DoorDash is more for smaller orders and quicker food. Whereas GrubHub is more for bigger orders and a little bit more expensive food. World's gone crazy. All I know is there's a whole new psyop thing going on right now, and I'm not even paying attention to it. But I see all sorts of people that are jumping up and down, screaming about it. Saying, oh, we're going to get our new glorified bodies soon, people. You don't have to worry about any of this. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Everybody thinks it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's never going to be the end of the world. We might have another reset, but that doesn't make it the end of the world. It just means that they'll start all over with a clean slate. Those that are left behind, old enough to remember, probably won't be left behind. They'll probably make sure all the older people are not going to be eligible for reprogramming or off in some shape, form, or fashion before that all takes place. But yeah, it's just all fear-mongering. It's all fear-mongering. If people just did some actual research on their own bodies, if people actually just did some research, period, they would learn that viruses are not transmutable. Everybody's, oh, germ theory. I'm more of a terrain theory kind of person. I believe more in terrain theory than I do germ theory. Because what about us people that didn't get sick when everybody else was? And what about us folks that didn't take no jabs, didn't wear a mask, didn't social distance, and still didn't get sick? I do believe, though, that this is connected somehow, some way to 5G and the jib jabs that was given to the people a few years ago. Just sitting here watching the traffic go by. Everybody trying to get home from work or trying to get to work or trying to get somewhere to go eat dinner or whatever. It's the only bad thing about doing dinner rush. When you do the dinner rush, is the traffic. That's why I like to try to start a little later and work a little later. So that way I'm not all up in the traffic. Yeah, earlier today it was wanting me to pick up a couple offers and more, and I'm like down here. It wasn't GrubHub, it was freaking DoorDash. Wanting me to drive 7-8 miles, and then, man, y'all lost y'all's nuts. Y'all lost y'all's minds. And these apps, just to prove my point, these apps don't know what's going on. Because I was up here dashing, you know, and I just logged off not too long ago. A few minutes ago, Dash just sent me an offer or thing saying that it's busy in my area that I'm normally in, my town. It's like, man, didn't you just see I'm online? I'm up in Norman. I'm not even in that zone right now. So why are y'all even freaking sending me messages? Y'all don't even know where I'm at. I mean, y'all know where I'm at because DoorDash wants to have your location access all the time. So does GrubHub. The only reason why I allow DoorDash to have it is because anytime I need to go onto the DoorDash app for anything, to check anything, I have to have my location on. Whereas at least with GrubHub, I can just put on there, only use my location whenever I'm using the app, except for when I'm delivering. When I'm delivering, I have it allowed at all times. So yeah, these apps know where I'm at, so why are y'all sending me bogus offers? Want me to drive 9-10 miles out of my way just to pick up an offer? It's stupid. It's freaking stupid, man. I guess I really do need to put the hammer down and try to find me some kind of courier gig, catering gig. There are some other apps out there I need to look into and check out and see if that's something I'd be more interested in, because there is a guy on YouTube that does these catering apps. He started out basically doing what I'm doing, but now he's in these catering apps. These catering apps, though, they put the orders up that they have for people to retrieve a few days ahead of time, actually. So you can schedule yourself for these offers, so you already know what you're going to do before that day even starts. And you already know how much money you're going to make doing it. And he made like $300-400 in one day just doing catering orders. If I can make $300 or $400 in one day, do that 2 or 3 days a week, shit, I wouldn't need my regular job at Cash Savers anymore. You know? I wouldn't need to do GrubHub. I wouldn't need to do DoorDash if I made $300-400 a day just doing a few catering gigs. I just had to buy catering bags is all it comes down to. So I would have to really look into that market and see how strong of a market I have. Because where this guy lives, I'm trying to think, where is he? I can't remember where he's at. But wherever he is, it's good. You know, some places might not have a lot of catering gigs or whatever. But there is always a need for medical transportation of some sort. So I definitely need to look into doing that type of stuff too. Medical courier kind of work. Delivering prescriptions. Delivering whatever I need to deliver, you know. Pick up a heart from one hospital and take it to another. I don't know. I did have to do that one time when I worked at the airport. I picked up the hospital and it was in this box that was inside of a cooler that was really sealed up very well. They loaded it into my vehicle for me, and when I got to the airport, there was somebody there to meet me to pick it up, and immediately put it on an airplane, and it was gone somewhere else, getting shipped to be put into somebody else's body. Pretty amazing if you ask me. Even though I already know the horror stories behind organ transplants and organ donations. They can't take any of your organs after you're dead and gone. They can take it after you're brain dead and your body's still alive. But they can't wait until you're completely dead before your organs are taken from you. So I am no longer an organ donor. Nope. Sorry. Ain't happening. But yeah, I've done a couple of things like that before. If I can make some good money doing that, heck yeah. Anyway, it's probably about 5:24. I'm gonna get up here. Thinking about going across the street to Brahms and at least using the restroom before I try to get back online. And then I'll probably jump on and see if I can get some decent offers tonight. Until the meantime, peace, love, hugs, nugs.